Right. I declare the meeting of the City Planning, Development and Business Affairs Committee open and advise that this meeting will be recorded and streamed live to the City of Adelaide website. Please note that an audio and visual recording is being taken of this meeting. This means that your presence at and any contribution you make to the meeting may be collected, used, disclosed or published publicly by the Council, including transferring outside Australia. The City of Adelaide acknowledges the Kaurna people of the Adelaide Plains as the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today. We acknowledge and honour their spiritual and cultural stewardship of this country and recognise their deep and enduring relationship with its lands, its water, the sky and all living things. We pay our respects to Kaurna elders past and present and recognise the important role of emerging leaders in sustaining and strengthening culture. I'd also just like to add that the CEO and myself officially opened NAIDOC Week today. There was a great crowd in Rundle Mall. It's 50 years of, now what was the CEO's? Of Deadly. Deadly meaning excellence, means inspiration, it means all positive things. There's a fantastic art exhibition in the mall and I recommend everyone get down there. It's going to be there for the whole week. It was a fantastic morning. We have a leave of absence, the Right Honourable the Lord Mayor, Dr. Jane Lomax-Smith, and also I believe Councillor Giles. I haven't got her on my list, but I believe that she's on leave as well. I now seek a mover and seconder to move the minutes of the 2nd of June. Councillor Snape and Councillor Marr. All in favour? Sorry? Oh, me too. Carried. Thank you. Okay, do any council members have a conflict of interest? Councillor Martin?
Yes, Chair. I will declare a general conflict for 10.1, but the disclosure of the conflict would not be appropriate given the confidentiality of the matter, so I will detail that later.
Thank you. We have no deputations, no workshops, and the first report that we actually have is the Tree Climb SA lease outcomes of community consultation, and I pass on to Mr. Philippou. Councillor Snow.
I'm happy to move.
I'll have a second actually.
Right. Okay. We have a mover, Councillor Snope, seconders, Councillor Stephen-Tripp.
Just to say this is an excellent body of work. I really appreciate what the time and energy and staff have gone into, and to see I think it was 93% support in the consultation. And this is a good use of our parkland. Mrs. Parkland's done well, so yeah, happy to support.
Okay.
Reserve the right.
Right. Members. Oh my God. Summed up?
Yeah.
Okay, all good. God, the seat didn't even warm it up. Thanks, guys. Okay, I put it to a vote. All in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Okay, next one. Be good if they're all like that. No? 7.2. Establishment of the Sustainability Design Prize 26-27. I ask Ilya to speak to this.
I was just going to say pausing for a mover. I'm happy to move that, Chair, if you're looking for movers.
God. Okay, moved by Councillor Stephen-Tripp, who actually moved the original motion, and seconded by Councillor Snape. Would you like to speak to it?
I would like to speak to it. Just wanted to say thank you to the team for the work on this. Obviously, when the motion originally came forward through Council, there was room for interpretation. We've seen 3 options come forward here. Council teams recommended option 2, which is what I also support. I think it's great to see the thinking that's gone in here. A couple of things I just want to emphasise in what we're looking at here. Yes, it was referred to as a design prize, but it's pleasing to see the inclusion of the word innovation. There's another word, efficiency, which is also relevant here. So this is not just about patting someone on the back about having a great idea around sustainability. This is fundamentally looking at where we have an ongoing need for investment, whether it be, for example, in greening around the city, whether it be in relation to EV infrastructure in the future, and saying, how do we bring forward ideas that can improve the cost efficiency with which that's done, whether that means we can do more for the same budget or potentially even in the future able to do deliver with a lower budget. So this is ultimately about engaging with ideas. I'd like to see maybe university groups come forward, industry professionals, but bringing forward their ideas on how do we deliver these programs more efficiently. So I'll be wholeheartedly supporting option 2 and the motion. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, members. Councillor Davis?
Look, honestly, I think we have other things to spend our money on right now. If we were going to offer a prize, I would, if we had $15,000 to give away, I'd be giving it to the Adelaide Parkland Association Art Prize. To me, this isn't going to drive any kind of meaningful innovation in the city or massive design outcome. People are going to do what they're going to do, and then afterwards, maybe if they notice that there's a prize, then off we go. To me, we've got, as a city, so many other things that we need to be doing, particularly when, people are feeling poorer than they ever have been, if they aren't. And with real wages going where they are, I just don't think that this is the time to be. I just think that every dollar that we have should go back into reducing our budget bottom line rather than delivering 15 grand out of a massive budget, which is like a feel good, and we can all say how much we love sustainability and design and innovation, but in reality it's not going to do. We do love it. Yeah, they're good buzzwords, right? They look good on election posters, but let's be real, it's not really going to drive anything. There's no KPIs. It's not going to be like we're going to be 3% more innovative as a result of our 15. There's no ROI on this. This is just a free cash splash to make us seem like we, kind of virtue signal on this thing, which is fine. I get that. It's great that we can prioritise that. But at this stage, I don't think this is a good use of taxpayer money at this point in time.
Councillor Capardo.
Thank you. Through the Chair, just a couple of questions. How will we make sure this competition produces practical ideas that we can actually use rather than concepts that look good but can't be delivered?
Thank you for the question and through the Chair. Look, the purpose, and you'll see within the papers the options that are summarised, and obviously specifically option 2, is the intent of that particular option is to progress with a couple of ideas and invest in those ideas to ensure exactly that, Councillor. And then with the 2 proponents that have shown stronger proposals, with the intent of seeing some efficiencies and some outcomes for the city, taking the stronger of the 2 proposals forward with the additional funds of the prize, and then of course the intention to see that as something that might be able to be implemented post the award.
Thank you. And in regards to intellectual property, how will we deal with that? Who owns the IP once that's submitted? Does council own it, or do they own it, and how do we work around that?
Thank you, and thank you again for the question. And again, you'll note at paragraph 53 within the report that intellectual property considerations will need to be addressed for any of the options presented as it relates to ownership and ongoing use of design solutions. So it's in the absence of actually seeing proposals and then understanding, what's with them. It's too preemptive an answer. For us, it's too preemptive for us to give a specific answer. We're just highlighting that we'll address IP issues as we go through the process.
Thank you.
Now, I couldn't work out whose arm it was. Councillor Marr? No? Councillor Freeman?
Thank you, Chair. I had a question about the proposal to just hone in on one category for the first year, and obviously this is new and I appreciate it is a broad scope. I would have liked all of these categories to be eligible for that first year, but I can understand why you're trying to limit that. I guess, so the proposal though to just focus on greening, I see a lot of overlap between that and green infrastructure, water sensitivity, heat mitigation and climate adaptation. And the reality is a design competition, you will likely have a design for a water sensitive urban design treatment that waters a tree. So it is linked to greening. And I wonder if the goal within the integrated climate strategy is clearer rather than saying greening. I mean, was there any consideration of that? Like, why was it greening that was called out and not the other 3 categories under that goal?
Thank you for the question, and through the chair. I think the intent is to focus the effort, and certainly who we're trying to partner with. But I think the things that you have raised there are legitimate considerations for the greening project as well. So it's not to look to exclude any of those potential innovations. It may assist members to have a look at the link for option 2. Within that, we have identified a series of criteria, and that criteria does talk broadly to those types of issues, and that's climate resilience, but it also goes to things such as community wellbeing and some economic considerations as well. So there's a series of dot points which really will help us determine the best way forward.
Okay, great. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, I was looking for that criteria and didn't find it because it didn't have a heading I was looking for. Okay, great. I think that's answered my question. Thank you. Sorry, has this been moved? I forget. Is this? Yep, great. Happy to support this. I think this sounds really exciting. I think it's a very reasonable budget allocation, and I think the proposed steps forward for the next financial year make a lot of sense. I'm not lying.
I just had a question, paragraph 45, resourcing 0.5 FTE over the 2-year delivery cycle. Is that 0.5 FTE annually or 0.25 annually? I just want to make sure I understand what that sentence says.
Thank you for the question, and through the chair. So that question is in relation to option 3.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're currently working through an international relationships project, and what we have indicated there is just the time commitment over the life cycle of that project. So it is a 0.5, but it is in different effort over that period. So there are more intense periods where we have touch points, and then there are less intense periods. So we've just given you an estimate.
Okay, and I noticed as well that the other 2 options, they didn't have an equivalent sort of impact. I assume it's something just delivering within BAU then? You don't have a FTE equivalent estimate?
Thank you, through the chair. That's correct. The funding was for $40,000, and that's fundamentally for some materials, promotion material, and the prize money. So it's not additional FTE; it's within staffing resources.
Okay, thank you.
I would just like to make a comment. I support the intent of encouraging innovation in greening and urban heat mitigation. And but the value of this competition will depend on if the winning idea can actually be delivered. I would actually like to see this brief tied to a real council challenge, perhaps, and a clear pathway for implementation. Otherwise, we run the risk of just creating a prize rather than solving a problem. But I do think that we should actually support this.
I'm happy to sum up through you, Chair. A couple of points that have been picked up during the discussion here is, one, will this generate practical ideas? My understanding is that any design ideas that come forward would be reviewed with input from both engineering expertise within council and procurement expertise. So the idea of that is, yes, it will be practical, and in order to be successful here, you'll need that input. There's also been an observation by one of our colleagues here that this is a free cash splash, It is so far from a free cash splash. This is an investment in order to identify potential efficiencies. Now, I'll give you an example. We have another example where council recently signed off and where it is willing to invest money to identify efficiency gains. It's called an independent review that we signed off on, and it's an independent review into the way we manage our finances here in council. It's looking at identifying productivity measures and efficiency gains. This is equally an investment in order to identify more efficient ways to deliver on projects, which in our last financial year included $4 million investment in trees. So While I know some of us get a little bit lost on the word sustainability, if we focus on the concepts of innovation, efficiency, this is an investment in innovation and efficiency in an area that I'm sure many councillors will remember, based on the feedback we got on our annual budget and business plan process. Greening is the number one thing that our community is asking us for. So again, I wholeheartedly support this. This is about investing in identifying where we're getting efficiency gains and doing things more innovatively in the future.
Sounds like a script of Utopia.
Please excuse me. I put this to a vote. All in favour? Against? Carried.
I mean, we could give the 15 grand.
Okay, members, we have now got one other.
Point of order,
Councillor David,
Chair.
Point of order.
Thank you. If we could just-
There is one item for consideration in confidence. This item 10.1, strategic property matter. I now seek a mover and seconder to consider this item in confidence. Councillor Kabada, and I think I saw Councillor Steventry will second this. All in favour? Carried. I now ask anyone